Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Ann at Martin House Flowers. I'm just sitting here in my guest room slash grow room, and I thought I would just do a quick video today to talk about zinnias. Now, if you did catch my video of what seeds I'm growing in the month of April, you'll see all the seeds that I am planning to grow in the month of April, but I hit a bit of a roadblock. So today I filmed a little clip of sowing a couple varieties of zinnias in my soil blocks. So I thought I would just talk a bit about the main things to think about when you're growing zinnias. So the first thing about growing zinnias to think about is that they are the easiest cut flower or bedding flower to grow. If you've never grown seeds before or grown flowers from seed, this is the most productive flower to try and the easiest one to try. So that's the first thing, easy. The second thing is that zinnias come in probably hundreds of varieties of colors, sizes. Some are larger than others, some are multi-layered. They are sometimes compared to a dahlia. The Bennery's giants can sometimes be so full and so large that they sometimes resemble a dahlia. The Queenie Lime series can also resemble a dahlia. So the one thing about growing zinnias is that you can start them under grow lights or indoors, or you can just direct sow them. Now, from my experience, I have been growing zinnias now for 3 or 4 years, and I did try the two methods of one, starting under grow lights, and two, direct sowing. Now, zinnias do have a tendency to get powdery mildew, and I found that that was the case, and only in the case of when I direct sowed my zinnia seeds. Now, zinnias also don't like their roots to be disturbed, and so I found that soil blocking zinnias was the best method for me. And in that way, when your roots reach the soil block and they don't wrap around like they would in a standard little growing pot or a cell, they actually air prune themselves, so they stop growing beyond, they don't grow beyond the soil block. Sometimes they might, hit the next soil block beside them, and the roots might kind of continue there. But for the most part, they do this method called air pruning. They never wrap themselves, the roots never wrap themselves around a pot, so they won't get root bounce. That's sort of the tendency and a pitfall of a zinnia, is that you want to avoid, number one, root disturbance, and number two, you want to avoid them going, getting root bound. So for me, my best method and my only method that I use now for growing zinnias is to soil block. Now, in my last video, you might have heard me say I had a bunch of older seeds and I might just direct sow those. So yes, in that case, because I'm not considering, my older seeds to be necessarily for production or for cut flowers necessarily, I might just leave them, in my bedding, in my landscape, and I will cut on them so that they continue to cut and come again. It's another feature about a zinnia, is that they are cut and come again. So if you like to cut your flowers, bring them indoors, and you want continuous blooms, then you should cut on your zinnias regularly, and then they will continue to bloom throughout the season. That I wanted to mention, that is, if you do in fact don't have the ability to grow your zinnias indoors under grow lights and you can only direct sow, I would highly recommend that if you want to avoid powdery mildew, is to try and space your zinnia seeds at least about 6 to 8 inches apart. When we direct sow, we tend to just broadcast our seeds very freely, and then you need to thin them out. Well, typically most of us don't bother thinning out when we're you know, growing in a bed. So what I would recommend, because the seeds are quite large, you'll see, let's see if I can find a seed here. The seeds are so large that you can actually, can you see that? The seeds are so large, almost the length of my pinky fingernail, if you can see that. They're so large that you can actually place them in the ground about a 1/4 inch down, place them strategically to avoid any powdery mildew. That is my suggestion. Now, if you're not, you know, particularly worried about powdery mildew, then yeah, just freely sow your seeds, whether you want to do them in a circle or you want to do them in a row, whichever method you want to grow your zinnias. But that's my my best solution for reducing powdery mildew if you are growing your zinnias just directly into the landscape. If you want to avoid powdery mildew, direct sow your seeds and give them as much space of about 6, if you can, 6 to 8 inches apart. That should reduce powdery mildew, because the thing about zinnias is that they grow quite tall and you want them to be free and have air, good air circulation, which will avoid ultimately any powdery mildew. So what else can I tell you about zinnias? They are cut and come again. They're beautiful cut flowers. They do need to, you do need to sow them outdoors after your last frost. So I am starting my zinnias 4 weeks before my last frost. If you are starting them indoors, I would suggest 4 weeks before your last frost. I believe that's what Johnny's suggests as well. Yes, they do. They say 4 weeks before your last frost. So in my case, my last frost date is at the end of April, anywhere from April 25th to the 30th. But I won't take any chances, because zinnias, if they do get hit by frost, that's it. They're done. You do want to make sure that your last frost has passed. So in my case, today was April 7th. I sowed 2 trays of zinnias, and I will not be putting them out until at least the 2nd week of May, just to make sure. And if I really want to be sure, based on these late frosts we've been having, I might not even plant them outdoors until middle of May to even Mother's Day weekend. So that's why I've taken my time. Zinnias are typically the last cut flower or seeds that I sow in the garden or under grow lights, because you really only need 4 weeks for them to grow. They're kind of similar to a Cosmo. They germinate very quickly. Let's see, they tend to take 5 to 7 days to germinate, and at 70 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit. You can use a heat mat if you want to speed them up, but I've never used a heat mat for zinnias. In fact, after my last frost, or even, you know, middle of April, when it's pretty certain that we're not going to get a frost in my zone anyway, I've actually even just put these in soil blocks in trays and just put them directly in the greenhouse and let the sunlight grow them. In fact, that's how I succession sow my zinnias. I've actually maxed out my grow light space. I'm down to one last tray, one last 10-20 tray, and I don't have space in here. So typically what I'll do is, once I've freed up some of my pots, like my geraniums over here, they are looking like they need to be planted out. My goodness, can you see those? Oh, I will wait to plant my zinnias in soil blocks in the greenhouse, probably by the 3rd week of April is what I'll do. And I've used the last, I had 2 10-20 trays in here of snapdragons. They went out into the greenhouse today, and I was able to free up 2 spaces for 10-20 trays. So that's all that I could do today for zinnias. But I just wanted to give you those few pointers about zinnias. I guess to wrap it up, I would say, number 1, Zinnias are the easiest cut flower to grow. Number two, you can direct seed them after your last frost outdoors. Or number three, you can start them indoors. I highly recommend using soil blocks, but if not, I would try to avoid having to disrupt your roots. So I would pot them up in maybe a 2.5-inch, 3-inch pot, or at the smallest, maybe a 50 cell tray. That way you're disrupting your zinnia root ball as little as possible. So if you can, if you have the ability to do so and you're interested, I would try soil blocking your zinnias. And number three, zinnias are cut and come again. So you want to continuously cut on your flowers and watch them grow all summer long. Oh, the last thing is, when you do cut your zinnias, you want to do a wiggle test. They grow quite tall and they will branch out when you cut deep. So cut your first zinnia flower as deep as possible, and that way you will stimulate the side growths. In fact, you'll see in a zinnia, I'll try to include a clip, but you'll see the stem of a zinnia that they'll be branching, and you want to cut in the middle there to encourage the branching of the other flowers. You want to do a wiggle test. So you take your zinnia stem and you do a little wiggle test, and if it flops, it's not ready. If it's a little stiff when it's you do the wiggle test and it's ready. And of course, you want to make sure that the zinnia flower is fully open, not somewhat closed like some other flowers. Like a sunflower, the best time to cut a sunflower is when it's sort of partially open. You get the longest phase life. That's not the case with a zinnia. You want a zinnia flower or floret to be fully open, and you want to do the wiggle test and make sure that it's not going to flop on you, because if you do cut it when it does that flop on the wiggle test, it will naturally flop when you put it in a vase. So hope you will try growing zinnias. And my favorite variety last year was ballerina. I also love Bennery's Giant Purple and Bennery's Giant Carmine Rose, Bennery's Giant Bright Pink, Salmon Rose, and then I love the Queenie Formula mix, and I love a Queenie Red Lime. What else do I have? I sowed Aurora today. I will sow Aurora today. It's sort of an ombre. And some new zinnias. I'm going to be trying Northern Lights Blend from Botanical Interest. I've got Lilac Emperor, which is one of the spiky petal zinnias that are called a cactus. It's called a super cactus lilac Emperor zinnia. And then I have in the past grown Oklahoma series. Now, Oklahomas are known for being more resistant to powdery mildew, and they are a little bit smaller, but they're definitely a branching zinnia. I would recommend that you could grow the Oklahoma series in your landscape. I didn't enjoy them as much for cut flowers, but definitely worth a try. I have Oklahoma Salmon, and then I have Oklahoma Carmine here. And also I do have Zinnia Envy from Botanical Interest, and then I have Key Lime Pie Blend. My recommended suppliers for zinnias, I can't say much about Botanical Interest because it's the first time that I'll be growing those, but Johnny's is my favorite, and I also do love Baker Creek. I grew these back in 2023. These are Queen Lime Orange. Queen Lime Blush, Queen Lime Red, my favorite, other than mix, and then I have Polar Bear. So these are some older seeds from 2023, and in my last video I said I'll probably direct sow them, just so they don't take up, you know, tray space or cell pack space. So hope you enjoy this video. I just included a little bit of my sowing in my soil blocks. So hope you'll start growing zinnias this summer. This afternoon, I put together some soil blocks and I did 2 trays of zinnias. I did a full tray of my favorite variety, Ballerina. I did notice on the package that the Ballerina only had a 78% germination. So although there were 50 seeds and I had a tray of 40 soil blocks, I decided to double up on the seeds. Typically, Johnny's seeds have a germination rate in the 90s, so I was a little surprised to see them in the high 70s. So I managed to put 2 to 3 seeds per soil block. So I'm doubling up my seeds, and then I covered them up with just the excess soil around the edges, and then, as I always do, I covered all my blocks with a light coating of vermiculite. Then I wrote my label, Ballerina, and I had to remember also to mark the date of April 7th. For the second tray, I had a hard time deciding which varieties to sow in this tray, realizing that this was my second tray and I probably wasn't going to do another succession sowing of zinnias for at least a couple weeks. So I decided on the Bennery's Giant Purple as well as the Aurora. I have so many more zinnia varieties still to sow this spring, so I guess I'm going to have to succession sow a few other varieties later in the month, and then I might even direct sow some of my older seed packs, and I'll try to be careful and sow them a little further apart to avoid powdery mildew, giving them extra airflow. So thanks for being here today. I hope this video on zinnias encourages you to grow more varieties of zinnias or try them for the first time. I promise you they are going to be one of the easiest cut flowers or bedding flowers that you will grow this season. See you next time. Bye now.